Hey everybody, Karen from Spirit Guides. I hope you're doing well today. So we are doing part 2 of your questions regarding CERN. Okay, so it's the tunnel or this location in Switzerland where there's been experiments done, energy experiments, physics experiments, that sort of thing. And a lot of people are talking about it in terms of how it can change timelines, or it can adjust timelines. It can adjust our energy. I've heard other people who are channeling talk about that recently, that since CERN closed, the energy has been more positive for humans, so we're going to ask some of those questions. But you guys have an additional 18 questions that I wanted to get to. We already did a part 1. So if you haven't seen the part 1, you can watch this and then go back and watch the part 1 if you want to. Okay, so let me see. So the questions today are questions about CERN shutdown, what scientists may have discovered, what may be happening behind the scenes, and whether CERN's work ultimately serves humanity. All right. Okay. They might be similar to the stuff that we talked about in part 1, but hopefully they're consistent. You never know. And sometimes if you find inconsistencies with what they say, listen to the exact question that I ask. Now, I'm getting better at asking questions and noticing, because I've been doing this for a long time, but I'm not perfect, never will be. Okay. So, especially when I go off and I ask additional questions, that's from what's listed. So if you hear inconsistencies and you care enough, then you would want to listen to the exact way the question is phrased, because one word changes it, should, like at the beginning of a sentence, or can, are very two different ways of asking a question. So, if you hear inconsistencies, it's often because of that kind of thing. Okay. All right. I close my aura to all but my higher self, the God consciousness, my guides and guardians, the lead team collective, and only those of the highest and purest light, and ask Archangel Michael to please protect my channel, your channel, the lead team collective, and the community, so it is all of the highest and purest light. Amen. Yo, yo, lead team. I'm trying to come up with something different instead of, hey, lead team. I pretty much say the same thing every single time. You guys get sick of hearing the same thing. Yo, yo. I kind of want to start doing what Vina does. You guys, anyone listen to Vina? I'll post her, if I remember, I'll post her channel below. She's like one of my faves. But if you're not a liberal, you won't want to listen to her. But not that I am. I'm just saying, I'm open-minded, so I'm going to listen to anybody. So, anyways, that's a whole nother story. But sorry, my brain just went down now. I got to explain that, and I got to explain this. I'm not going to explain it. So, Vina, at the beginning of every video, I really want to adapt this because I think it is so funny. At the beginning of every video, she'll be like, hey, you grasshoppers of love, And then the next video, she'll be like, hey, you little rascals of love, what are you doing? She always comes up with something else. And I just laugh every single time. Vina, she's not watching this, but I would love to steal that from you. So I think I'll do that with the lead team. Hey, you little rascals of love. Maybe I'll do it with the lead team. So my intro to the videos will be the same. Like, hi, Karen from Spirit Guides. I hope you're doing well today. Hey, you little rascals of love. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take that from Vina and use it for the lead team. Okay. I just think it's so funny. All right. So lead team, we've got questions about CERN that we may have already asked or we may not have asked. It's okay. It's okay. All right. You got answers? We got questions. You got answers? Yes? Okay, very good. Let me push you back just a little bit. I like it that you can see the tips of the... Okay. So, lead team. You little rascals, is CERN really shut down? Yes. Is the shutdown of CERN just being used as a distraction? No. Good question. Is CERN shutting down until 2030? No. Is CERN ever going to open again? In the current way that it's, no. Okay. Was CERN shut down because of natural disasters? Yes and no, but they're saying more no. So is there more reasons why CERN was shut down? Yes. But did it contribute to natural disasters? Yes. But it's not the primary reason for it being shut down. Is it the primary reason for it being shut down? No. Did CERN cause natural disasters such as earthquakes or hail? Yes. Well, they haven't stopped since CERN closed, so we're still getting... let's do a whole video on weather manipulation, you guys. I'll put it on my list to do a call out soon, next couple weeks, because I'm quite interested in that topic. I want to see what they have to say about that. Okay, so that's interesting. So CERN did cause such like earthquakes and hail. Yes. Just in that area, just close to CERN? No. Okay, so it could affect worldwide? Yes. Okay. Did they shut it down because they discovered something dangerous? Yes. Did they shut it down because it was being used for nefarious reasons? Yes. Is there really a group called the White Hats? Do they call themselves the White Hats? No, they don't call themselves the White Hats. Okay, but there is a group of humans that are dismantling things that are destructive to the human race and to Earth? Yes. Okay. But they don't call themselves the White Hats? No. Okay. Will CERN come back online as planned? No. And even that question alone could have different variations. So let's just ask, will CERN come back online? No, because if I would have just left that, which we already asked that earlier, but if I would have just left that, will CERN come back online as planned? The as planned part could have changed the response to the question. So if I didn't catch that, and later on I asked, okay, so if they said, will CERN come back online as planned? And they said no, and let's just say 3 months from now, I ask, will CERN come back online? And they say yes. Then someone will be like, but they told us no before. No, what they were responding to was the as planned part. You see what I mean? So that is the case for every single person who channels. It's their interpretation of things. So if you hear inconsistencies, that's why this is why it's entertainment. And that's why it's just used to help you explore the world in a different way, to feel what feels right to you. That's the most important thing. Getting to a right answer is not the goal. You will never get that. If that is what your human ego brain needs, you're going to have to work through that. That's a shadow because you're never going to get it. You're never going to get the absolute right answer because there is no right answer. All things could be true and all things might not be true. That is how interestingly complex I understand the dimensions to be. So that's my opinion, okay, just from what I've been learning. You let me know what you think about that. Okay. Is there information about CERN that we haven't been told? Yes, and I have huge problems with this not being told stuff. I'm getting a little sick of it, to be honest. In fact, in the playground, my first video in the playground today, kind of started talking about that kind of stuff. So I'm getting a little sick of it. I just think it's ridiculous that there's so much untruths around, so many lies, and I don't know. We need to change that from humanity, for humanity. And I guess it takes us getting sick of something. My nose started itching. It takes us getting sick of something, and because I'm to the point where I'm putting my foot down about it energetically. It's enough to put your foot down energetically. You don't even have to write a letter to your Congress people about it. If you put your foot down energetically, just like if you give in energetically, you send a different message. But if you put your foot down energetically and say, not telling the truth it's just unacceptable. It's unacceptable. I'm not going to settle for that anymore. And I feel very strongly about that, the more, which I think is why it's important that we do, that's part of the awakening process, is you get to put your foot down about stuff, hopefully from a loving perspective. So, the truth to me is more of a higher vibration, and I'm done with it. It's the most ridiculous. It's so this is very toddler behavior. You know what I mean? And I'm like, no. And so I do think, let me ask, is putting our foot down energetically enough to contribute to humanity in a positive and negative way, depending on how you put your foot down? Yes. So just keep that in mind. Get very clear on your boundaries of what you want. And then you have to live by that. If you're not living by it, the truth, if that's something that's important to you, if I say that and I am not living by it, then, I've got some work to do, right? But yeah, so I think it's interesting to know that you can support the collective by just your energy. And I think that's what a lot of people have been trying to say, is where you put your energy is where your focus goes, your energy flows, So, but I also feel that focusing on things to discover that we were being lied to lowered my energy for a while, lowered my vibration for a while, but now I'm very clear. And I think we needed to do that so we could get clear. So that's about the awakening. But there were people who were like, well, you shouldn't even be talking about those lower vibration things because it's just lowering the vibration of the collective. And I'm like, I actually disagree with that personally. It's just a disagreement. And because I do think if you don't know what you don't know, you can't take a firm stand on something, right? So now if you get to a place where all this information has lowered your vibration and you're not getting to a place where you're being clear about what you want, then you're not helping the collective. But if you get to a point of where like I'm telling this about the truth, then I do think it does help the collective that way. Yep, really wide swing yes on that. Okay, will CERN, okay, we did that. Is there information about CERN we haven't been told? We did that, so yes. Did something happen to the particles that CERN scientists cannot explain? Yes. Yes. Were they trying to come to a place that would have essentially hurt humanity? Yes and no. Yes and no. Okay. So was all of CERN used for nefarious reasons? No. But did they come to realize that it is not helpful for humanity? Is that what they came to realize? Yes. So there was more disadvantages to keeping it open than there were advantages? Yes. Okay. Are they having to reevaluate those results from the particle experiments? Yes. Did the scientists learn anything that will benefit humankind's understanding of time and space? Yes. Okay. And what they learned okay, so the question was benefit. So that it will benefit what we've learned? Yes. So did it need to close because of that same reason? Yes. Okay. Because there's advantages and disadvantages to knowing that. Yes. Will they share that information with the public? Yes and no. So in the short term, well, we know the answer to that. No. Will we eventually understand the full picture? Like the truth? Will we actually get the truth at some point? Humanity will get it at some point. Yes. In my lifetime? Again, I could live till I'm 100. I don't know. So it'd be like, 40 years from now. 43 years from now. Yes. Okay. Let's see. Will any of the work at CERN benefit humanity in a meaningful way? Okay, just a different way to ask that. Yes. Will CERN benefit humanity in some way? So again, some just confirmation questions, but multiple people had asked that. Usually put those together. But is the experience and existence of CERN here on Earth for our benefit to help us understand the nature of reality? Yes. So that was the point of it? Yes. But because it was also being learned how to manipulate reality? Yes. Okay, so that was one of the issues, was the manipulation of reality for humans? Yes. Okay. This might bring up a whole bunch of more questions for you. We can always do a part 3 if we get enough questions. While CERN was operating, was it intentionally being used to manipulate humans through frequency? Yes. Okay. By everybody who worked in CERN? No. Okay. So we'll just call them the white hats and the black hats. There were both white hats and black hats who were working in CERN? Yes. Okay. Is the dark side government, so the shadow government, the Cabal, the Illuminati, it depends on what people call it, is that side of the government benefiting from CERN's operation? No. Were they benefiting from CERN's operation? Yes. Okay. Is that the reason it closed down? Yes. And then the next question was, will that change? Yes. And will it help with their downfall? The dark side, the lower vibration? Yes. Well, has it helped with the fact that it's closed is probably a really good step in the right direction, I'm assuming. Yes. So is that a sign to us that these quote unquote what the normies, what people call the rest of us normies, the prepping community calls those who don't prep normies, or people who are unaware that they should prep. Let's put it that way. That's what they call them, the normies. I guess if you have to have a name for people, a group of people, yeah, so you're called the normies. So I don't even know why did I start talking about that? Because I was asking about, so because the normies they don't even know this is going on, actually. So the people who, yeah, just the people who call white hats black hats. I don't even remember why I was asking that question. What a great way to end the video, right? What can I say? I can't think of any good question to ask now. And I can't remember. We were talking about the dark side of the government. Anyways, isn't it funny that they're called the normies? The lead team thinks it's funny. Why do we always have to label everybody? We always have to label. I guess that's the only way we can understand people. So it will help with their downfall. So the fact, oh, I know what I was saying. The fact that CERN is closed, for those who are not the normies, who were interested and understand now that CERN played a role in human manipulation, is that a good sign for us? Is that a good sign? Yes. Okay. It's a good sign that there actually are good people working behind the scenes to dismantle things. Yes. Okay. All right. I think I recovered all right at the end of the video. I was like, that's my last question. My last question was, will it help with their downfall? And I'm like, oh my God, I can't end now with the, I forgot what I was talking about. Yep, that's what happens when you don't edit videos. So someday I should. I mean, I think it's funny when people do bloopers. You know, the other day when I started the video and I was like, I don't know, I didn't get my intro out very well and I just decided to keep it. Yeah, that happens every once in a while. I just like start over, you know. I should just keep those. I'll keep those for now on, and someday I'll just play them all at the end of the video rather than deleting them. It's funny. Okay, you guys, CERN number 2. We don't have any other questions about CERN, but I find it fascinating. And I actually just watched for the first time in 50 years, the pilot of Star Trek. Oh my gosh. It is crazy how what they're talking about is so similar to the stuff we talk about now. What the actual hell? That's all I have to say. I need my what the hell mug right now. In our merch shop. Just FYI, a little plug. So if you guys haven't watched it, I don't know. We're going to have to do, I know Lob and Jared, my nephews, because remember we were going to do this little thing on the Star Trek theme and I just kind of lost steam on it. For those in the community who remember that, it wasn't too long ago, like a month ago. You know, that's what you do. You test things out and you're like, I'm not feeling it. So you just stop it. just what you do. And that's okay. You can do that. So anyways, they started watching the series and you guys still writing those questions? They were going to have a whole bunch of questions. I'll still do a Star Trek series. I think it would be interesting. Yeah. So Jared and Lob, are you still writing those questions down by chance? Okay, you guys, this was very, very interesting. Thanks as always for your questions. And please subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. We'd really appreciate it. And we will see you tomorrow night. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.